Welcome to Hallis Beer Hall. We're your spot for the grit and passion of Chicago sports. From the gridiron battles of the Bears to the diamond drama of the Cubs and Sox. Grab a cold one, settle in, and let's slapshot our way from the United Center to the Lakeshore Drive. This is Hallis Beer Hall, where the game never ends and the passion never fades.
Such a pleasure to see you, especially on a noteworthy event like this one.
Big time players make big time plays.
I mean, I never heard anybody say I'm going to Cleveland on vacation.
I'm not a very good catcher. I'm much better at getting high than getting low.
So, Aaron, how was Canada?
It was good, man. No, it was really chilled. The islands had really nice weather. It was like 75 degrees, and then in the shade was perfect. So yeah, it was really
Wait,
nice.
Did you go to the San Juan Islands in America, or is that in Canada?
It's in the U.S.
Oh, okay. When do you go to Canada?
Next week. In 2 weeks. Next week. Not next weekend, but the weekend after.
Sick, dude. Dude, San Juan Islands look fucking beautiful, by the way, too.
They're amazing. Like, they're so nice. And like it's like unlimited possibilities of what you can do. Like, you can hang out at one. Some people like bike between them. Like, there's just go wherever you want, do whatever you kind of want to do. Each one kind of has its own vibe a little bit, but they're all very similar. I don't know. It's a great time. So yeah, it was all good. We go to Lopez once a year, so this is kind of like the annual trip. But we've never gone this late in the season. But I like camping when it's like colder so much more. Because when it's hot in a tent, it's just kind of gross. So throwing on like the hoodie and then just like sitting around a campfire. Well, we couldn't do a campfire because it's a burn ban right now. But just sitting around like the
Be right
stove and
back.
stuff.
I gotta get these high noons. Hold on. Just
Oh,
heard
yeah.
you knocking my door.
Oh, that was quick.
10
Yeah,
minutes,
seriously.
10 minutes
The
my
fastest
ass, dude.
delivery man of all time.
Get on levels.
Figure you guys got a good chunk to talk about with your Bears. With some good things happening. I loved Hard Knocks. I know we're gonna get into that later, but that was fantastic.
I'm really interested to hear your opinion, like as like an outside fan base of like how good was it? Because to me it was like porn, basically.
Yeah, I'll be happy to talk about that. I'm actually a Giants fan, so
Yeah,
I got a lot of. It's a good juxtaposition put it that way between the two. I don't know if you watched any of the Giants the off season,
Yeah.
but it is a franchise that's like it knows what it's doing, and a franchise that doesn't have a fucking clue.
Sam, the Giants, did you see in the Bears Hard Knocks when Ryan Poles was talking to the Giants general manager, and he's like, oh, it must be nice not to have to look for quarterbacks anymore.
Yep. Yeah. And, a quick before we dive in, I know you explained this to me before, so you kind of just splice everything together, right, as we go along?
Yeah.
I'm happy to dive in on whatever the hell you guys want to talk about to open things up.
Dude,
Okay.
the show
Yeah,
is
we can start with
free-flowing.
Hard Knocks. That'd be fantastic. So,
Yeah, dude.
from an outside perspective, I know I just mentioned this a little bit. You look at the Bears, you see a professional sports organization that they're not going to get everything right. Nobody does, but they have a plan. They have, a strategy going into the preseason and developing their needs and their assets and talents. And just you look at that, then you look at the Giants Hard Knocks directly before this weeks ago, where they really seemed to be running around not knowing what was going on. And then the demeanor, too, between Poles. I loved maybe my favorite. It was, I think, a couple moments, but Poles talking about how hard it is to develop the relationship with the players, how hard it is to have to cut players in the last episode, and how to bring players around to buying in on what the organization is selling versus Shane talking about Joe Shane. You've got Saquon Barkley not even realizing he's being recorded as the team essentially says, piss off, we don't need you. And we can talk about this. I mean, you just saw what the result of that is.
3
Night
touchdowns.
and day.
Three.
Philadelphia,
Three
Yeah.
New
fucking
York Giants.
touchdowns.
And then to tell your franchise, we don't. I mean, you could argue whether or not he's talented enough to be a franchise quarterback, but for better or worse, right now he is their franchise quarterback. We would rather have anybody else under the sun. We would rather have Malik Willis, sorry Malik, than you at this position right now. So I think it was nice to see. It was nice to see a team that seems functional, and it just made me more wary about this coming season and what that will entail.
Well, I got this for you, Sam. The Bears. This is the second, maybe second year that they're functional. So it's been a long time coming. The Giants seems like since Eli have been on the downswing, but Bears have been. Jay Cutler was our last great quarterback. Mitchell Trubisky had like one really, really, really.
2018 was fun. 2018
Yeah,
was
yeah,
fun.
yeah.
Actually, going back to a comment Aaron made last pod, I believe, was did we ever do any research on if the Giants players that got those 9 sacks in the first half did they get paid, dude?
I have not looked more into that.
I don't know, Sam. You got any?
So I believe I put a comment on the last video. I was actually revisiting that video before this, but I believe so. The Giants did not win. That was 2010. They did not win the Super Bowl that year. They won the division, and then I think got bounced out of the first round of the playoffs. The next year, with many of those same guys on their defense, I think 4 or 5 Pro Bowlers from that 2010 season, they went and, of course, won the Super Bowl. So on the backs, by and large, of that same defensive prowess. So, yeah, those guys...
Tom Brady. That era of the Bears was actually pretty fun, too. It just, was riddled with
Controversy,
injuries and bullshit.
Also something that I looked up when I saw that as well from that game. Jay Cutler did not have more than 9 sacks. 9 sacks in the first half. He did not have any more sacks in that game because on the 9th sack, he was taken out for the rest of the game with a concussion. So he's got that going for him.
And who went in? Did they say who went in for him?
Ooh, no. If they did, I didn't look at it. Who would that have been? 2010?
Yeah.
Was it Sanchez?
Could have been. I want to say Sanchez was later, but...
Yeah, it could have been.
Oh my God, yeah. Todd Hollins and Caleb Haney.
Oh God.
That's someone in the "Where Are They Now" folder.
Also, we were 3-1 going into that game. Can you imagine how high Chicago was on the Bears at that point, only to get sacked 9 times in the first half? That's fucking tough.
Get crushed
by the fucking Giants.
Well, I mean, what Sam just said, they didn't win it that year, but the next year they won the Super Bowl. So.
The Giants were actually good then. Eli Manning was like a fantasy quarterback people wanted.
Oh, man.
Well, speaking of that, how do you guys feel about your fantasy teams this year?
I never feel good about it. I feel like if I feel good about my team, I'm probably doing something terribly wrong.
All I know is I face Connor next week, and Caleb Williams is going to smash your teeth in, dude.
I think we need to get a little podcast side bet going.
Oh! Sorry. I think I'm almost about to be 2-0 for my bets on you guys.
By the way, every listener, Hank and me and Aaron did a bet the other day, and then when we lost, Hank was like, "I don't think I'm ever gonna gamble again." So now that we're on the podcast,
that's
and
true.
we're about to gamble
it's true.
Again,
I think it was more betting on players. Also,
it's a nice little friendly wager,
Yeah, you know, it's not anything. It's just a little bit of change.
Sorry, I was watching a AI Harry Potter video earlier of Harry Potter, the redneck singer, or something like that.
Yeah, I saw you posted that.
What a time to be alive.
Did we find out if Justin Fields is starting?
That was the rumor yesterday. I haven't seen any updates. Hank, what is our bet that he would start before week 4?
Yeah, so essentially if he starts
He starts
week
tomorrow. I just lose.
yeah.
Week 1.
And Aaron, you already know with the White Sox win total. Just pay my 50 to Hank because the Cubs are not winning 93 games. So
Give me the money.
White Sox, they're like already I've already mathematically lost that bet, right? I think so. I don't think there's any way we could have that much games left to
yeah, they're not even going to win 40 games, dude. So I mean,
win. 5 in their last 46 games.
That's rough. Meanwhile, the Cubs are what, 18-8?
the Cubs have a chance to get 84 wins. They have a chance. So it's mathematically not impossible yet.
Huh. Shit.
The Cubs haven't scored a run in 2 games. So
Okay. All right.
they're playing the Yankees. Oh, that's a thing I want to talk about. Anthony Rizzo came back to the Chicago Cubs, to Wrigley Field, and they gave him a standing O, obviously. Played his video, obviously. And then they showed that Rizzo paid for 200 kids and their families, or maybe it was just people in general, 200 tickets, but it was all kids from the hospital that he used to go visit and like be at all the time for like kids with cancer. That was fucking beautiful. Paid for 200 tickets of all these families to go there and go to the game and have a good time. And that's just why Rizzo is always a Cub.
He's a class act.
I gotta ask.
Yeah.
I gotta ask.
Sure,
Did he strike out?
Immediately after his tribute video, a la Javi Baez.
I don't know. It wasn't Javi Baez. He's gotten 2 hits. So he's been doing good. The Yankees have won both games. I mean, Cubs look like they're fucking fruitless, fucking ballless, fucking horrible, managed by a fucking dumbass.
We on a 5 count?
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking brutal out here,
6?
dude.
Damn.
You know what, though? At least we didn't fucking lose our quarterback in the first game of the season. Am I right, boys? Let's go!
Not yet. We haven't had
Let's
Sunday
go,
yet,
Bears.
dude.
Let's go,
Rough
Bears!
year.
Let's go, Bears!
Rough year for the Pack.
Who even
Yeah.
is their backup quarterback?
As I said to Hank and Aaron earlier, I'm sorry for keeping talking, y'all, but we had to deal with Aaron Rodgers memes for the past
Oh my god.
10 years. So you
Discount
guys can
double
deal
check
with a
this
little
dick.
bit. Yeah, you can deal with a little bit of, oh, your guy tore his ACL? How does that fucking feel? Am I wrong?
No, but you know how it usually goes, like with Rodgers, he got hurt and then he comes back in the fucking game like a Jesus figure.
Not last year.
No. I think he's on the downturn, but whatever.
I think Love, last I heard, initial prognosis was an MCL strain or sprain. So surgery maybe not required, but he's not coming back next week.
I think I saw some, it was like 3 to 6 weeks, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry, what'd you say, Hank? I couldn't really hear you.
I'm Connor, I swear. I think my mic setup is fine now.
That sounds good. I like where you're talking right there. I think that's good.
Yeah, I think it was 3 to 6 weeks, which I'm happy about. Like, I want him to be back, and I want Caleb to take the crown from his fucking hands. Like, that's I think my ideal situation. It would suck if like we beat their. I mean, I'd still be very happy to beat their backup because we haven't won a game against them in 5 years. But I would like to beat their A team.
Let me tell you this. If we win the division and beat the Lions and beat the Packers and beat the Vikings, it doesn't matter if Jordan Love went down because we
That's
fucking
true.
won the division. And the Lions
That's
are a
true.
good fucking team. It doesn't matter that your QB got injured. It's football. It happens every fucking year. You guys cheap shotted our fucking 85 quarterback in 86
Yeah,
and broke his
they-
fucking shoulder.
They
Go fuck
killed
yourself.
Jim McMahon. They killed Jim McMahon.
Yeah.
You fuck all these Packers fans talking shit. You know, we're in our fantasy chat. I know there's some Packers fans in there. I know what they're feeling. But you know what? Get big, get tough, and get fucked. Because the Bears are coming.
Bear
That's
down.
a sound clip for the intro. That's a sound
Yes,
clip
it
for the
is.
intro.
The outro.
Yeah.
I
I
actually like that
honestly
better.
like. I'm not. This may be ignorant. I'm not worried about the Lions. Like I think we just have Jared Goff's number. Dude, he's gonna play 15 games in domes this year. The one of the two outdoor games he's gonna play is gonna be at Soldier Field in December 23rd. Like he does not do well in the cold. I feel like even when he was on the Rams, when we had Vic Fangio against him, we fucked him then. We killed him last year. Like I'm just not really scared of Jared Goff against the Bears. For whatever reason, we're like his boogeyman. It feels.
I'm more scared of his weapons, Amon Ra,
True.
Montgomery.
Montgomery, Gibbs. Another thing to add there, kind of piggybacking off what you're saying, Aaron, is people forget that the Lions were unseemly lucky last year. They were disgustingly lucky when it came to avoiding injury, keeping their offensive weapons together, but more importantly, I would argue, keeping the offensive line. Their offensive line, I think, maybe missed a combined 2 or 3 games for the season on any of their guys. So playing together like that, it breeds competition and ability to read defensive schemes that you can. I'm thinking of Giants right now. I'm thinking the Bears have made some additions. I think their offensive line will be much improved. But look at something like Philadelphia last night with what they're able to do for Saquon Barkley that the Giants could never do for every year that he was there, because I know Kelsey was an anchor and he retired, but the rest of those guys have played together for 5-6 years, been to a Super Bowl together now, and so the Lions rather had that going with making their run, had all their weapons available, and got a little unlucky in the championship game. But I don't think they will be that lucky on the injury front again this year. It doesn't happen that way. You lose guys, you just expect it.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Also, injuries in recent years, seem to be way more prevalent.
Well, yeah, because it's just a bunch of dudes. I mean, you got nerds involved now, so they're like, here, statistically, if you have a bruise on your hamstring, you probably shouldn't play. But back in the day, they're like, you have a broken toe, pop it back in place and get the fuck back out there.
That's a very,
Yeah.
very true statement.
I think it's DeAndre Hopkins tomorrow. They don't know if he's going to play or not. Apparently, he's like playing or suffering through a torn MCL. That just sounds insane. Like we're in week 1. That's going to be a long fucking season.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm actually worried about Tennessee's defense a little bit. Rookie QB going against Tennessee's D. I'm like skeptical. Like Sam, you were talking about it in our one group chat, benching DJ Moore this week, and I've been thinking about it heavily. If Justin Fields starts, I might play Pickens instead of DJ Moore. I don't know.
I'm going to start Moore. I mean, I drafted him for a reason. We'll see how it shakes out, but like I was talking about, almost convincing myself to start Malik Neighbors over Devontae Adams in a moment of insanity before I regain my senses. And I think, the year will show. We're already seeing guys likely on Baltimore, Worthy on Kansas City. Jaden Reed looked like a bona fide stud, and we'll see how the quarterback situation shakes out for him there, which is unfortunate for Love owners and Love himself, of course, and Reed owners, any of the Green Bay Packers guys. But there will be at least whatever stories we have so far. There will be more before the weekend is out. There'll be injuries. There'll be questions about teams' depth and what people expect. And being the NFL, one thing that I know personally, and I know in the media writ large, is that there will be overreactions in abundance.
And let me ask you guys a question here on the topic of fantasy. I'll ask each one of you individually. Aaron, who do you think is the QB with the most fantasy points this season?
I probably think it's Patrick Mahomes. I think he just has a ton of weapons this year. The problem is with him is like as he gets old, like he'll still scramble, but I think that like there's a higher ceiling on like an Anthony Richardson, or honestly, I think like a Kyler Murray could have a really good year, just like depending on if they score touchdowns with their feet. But I I don't know. I think, or like obviously like a Josh Allen, but he's getting older too. So I think they're less likely to run. But I still think it's just going to be Patrick Mahomes. The offense. I watched like half the game on Thursday, but like they just look so insanely deep at offense. I think he's just going to go on a tear this year. So that would probably be my pick.
For sure. Yeah, I was thinking either Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson. Hank and Sam, what do you think?
That's tough. I mean, anybody could really have a breakout year. I mean, Stroud could technically come out from his rookie year and have another breakout year, potentially. With
I'm very
Texans.
interested to see what he does in his sophomore year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I think Stroud is a guy who I look very favorably at. Jordan Love, I had looked very favorably at before yesterday, and
I drafted him in a league and I sat him for Caleb Williams.
no, this is going to be very boring for me. I agree. I think Pat Mahomes. And look, you talk about Lamar Jackson, another case where the offensive line is almost entirely new for them, and they will get better. That 6 games in, it will not look the same as it looked during that last game, but there will be a curve there, and he will bear the brunt of that with the way he plays. He looked amazing in that game, but it's. I think there's risk associated with him. Allen, they may bring more into the fold if Buffalo really has a desire to make a run and win that elusive Super Bowl. They need him healthy. And in the case of Mahomes, this offense is the most potent I think he's ever played with. It's by far looked the best to me, looks on paper the best, what I saw in that game, than anything. I mean, what he's done has been not because of the weapons he's had, by and large. It's in spite of it. And people were talking about how, Kelsey looks a little slow. Kelsey will be fine. He will be the safety blanket for Mahomes. And if the guys like Rice and Worthy develop, Pacheco looked amazing. If these guys can develop into, I will say this to your guys' credit and also should be to your worry, a Bears-esque offense with the weapons they have, it'll be very difficult for anyone to stop them from the three-peat that they're looking for, I think. And in fantasy perspective, great opportunity, a great offensive flow, and points scored will equal a lot of points for him.
Not to mention that they still don't even have Marquis or Hollywood Brown back. So that offense looks fucking brutal, actually. It's the best they've looked since Tyreek Hill was there, or maybe since like 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Or when was the second Super Bowl they won? I can't remember.
They won last. Is he on going for his fourth? Because they've won the last 2 years. Did he win one before this run?
Fourth. Yeah,
Wow.
he's going for his fourth now.
Amazing.
They beat San Francisco, and I want to say 19 or 20.
Sam, I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. When you said you're gonna play Devonte Adams for Malik Neighbors, I think for the first week that's good. But I think as the season develops with the Raiders QB situation, I honestly think that Malik Neighbors is the only weapon on the Giants. Maybe Singletary, but that's like a huge maybe. I would say, dude, Malik Neighbors could be a very good play in the future for you, like with him being the only weapon and Daniel Jones fucking maybe he comes into that season like it's like that season he was injured, he had surgery, maybe he develops back into that QB they fucking paid $126 million for or whatever the fuck it was.
Oh yeah, I'll absolutely wax. I mean, how much time do we have on here? Because I'll talk about the Giants for as long as you want me to. Malik Neighbors, from a fantasy
we got all the
perspective,
time in the world.
will be fantastic.
Until 10 a.m.
Volume, you're looking for volume. He should see 20 targets a game. He won't, but the range of 12 to 15 is not out of the realm of possibility for me. But and that will equate to production, volume, touchdowns for him. And I think everything I've heard coming out of camp from them is that he is that good. He is the guy we were hoping he was going to be. Now, to talk about the Giants, I'd be remiss. You went from having an amazing running back, one amazing offensive player, to having one amazing, hopefully, offensive player. That will be great for him, and I hope he achieves everything he wants to with them. The problems of this team go so far beyond anything that one player or one draft or several drafts and trades can address. You talk about the offensive line situation. The offensive line is not, I shouldn't say that. We'll see how much improved it is from last year. I don't think it will be much improved. If it would be hard to be worse than they looked last year. But another thing is that they've brought veterans in, guys who they hope can get up to speed quickly. But these are, again, guys who have not played well, with the exception of a few guys from the Raiders they got. But these guys have not played together. They have not played in this system. And they're playing on a team that is going to be hit hard, hit rough. Daniel Jones, I hope, will come out playing angry. He should be. I would be angry if I was him. But look at all of Saquon Barkley's opening games over the past 3 seasons versus what he did with Philadelphia. That is the benefit of having a real veteran, comfortable with each other and reading plays, reading the defensive schemes, offensive line, versus what he had his entire tenure in New York. And it's and similar, I would compare it to the situation with Fields in Chicago for much of his tenure there as well, where you couldn't protect him, you couldn't give him space. Look at the amount of time that Jalen Hurts had on some of these plays to run around, to scramble, to find his guy. And yes, having A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, those guys can really help with that. But you did not see anything like that in any of the games that the Giants played last year. They were getting crushed every single time. And add on to that a very suspect secondary, a defensive.
Sam,
Yeah.
you had Danny DeVito half the year, or I'm sorry, what's his name?
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito half of the year. So of course you're getting crushed. You had the situation from the Jersey Shore playing quarterback, dude.
You know what? I would not be terribly disappointed to see him in again this year. I shouldn't say that, but I hope Jones does very well. To me, I should put it in perspective this way. Very well for me would be a 5-12 season. 6-13 would be very well to my expectations of the Giants right now.
Also, new podcast listeners, let me throw this in there. We might want to skip this to the front, but Sam is our friend who's been on the podcast before, and he's our expert Giants and Yankee fan podcaster who is our very good friend, very knowledgeable, very loving father, and a very nice guy. And I think that all of you should respect his Giants fandom, because it's basically just like the Bears, except they won 2 Super Bowls more recently. But
they were quite good for a long time.
So.
You can respect other sad fans. Sad.
Well, it's a shame you guys didn't start this during the basketball season, or I could have talked happily about one of my teams. But no, I think the Giants were quite good for a number of years in my youth, and now they're quite bad, and that's how it goes.
Sam,
sometimes.
Congratulations to you on the Yankees, because they're whooping the Cubs' ass recently, and I fucking hate it, and fuck the Yankees right now. I do love Rizzo, though. I'll always, and Mark Leiter Jr., yeah, he's serviceable. But
Leiter is the best reliever on their bullpen right now.
Sam, I got a question for you.
Oh yeah, Hank, hit it up.
So I was just thinking about it, and this is kind of like going back to the Saquon Barkley comments about like what he's done with Philadelphia versus the Giants, and like the whole what he's had to do. If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Saquon injured quite a lot with the Giants?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, this is just me and maybe speculation, but when you don't have the tools that can help you be where you need to be, or be, pushing you too far, I feel like that's where injuries happen a lot.
Yeah, he had a horrible offensive line.
Yeah,
for
no.
His whole career
so that's what
Giants.
I'm saying. Is like he had to maneuver his body in ways that probably pushed it to the limit to get whatever yardage he needed to get. So having a good O-line that's able to give him pockets that he knows he can hit.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah, you talked about Hill a little bit earlier. These guys I forget sometimes in my armchair intellectualism about it, that They are superhuman, the things they can do. And in Saquon's case, he was being asked, they know exactly what's going to happen, and you're going to need to run into it because that's what it is. And so the injuries in his case, bad luck, but also, if you roll the dice enough times, you're going to get snake eyes eventually. So it comes with the territory.
Aaron, who is the closer for the White Sox right now?
Fuck if I know. I have no fucking clue. I haven't watched a White Sox game in 2 months.
When was the last time they needed a closer?
Last year, maybe.
Rough.
This is bullshit. Anyways, I have 2 Giants questions. Fuck you, Connor. So, Sam, 2 questions for you. One, curious on like the thought from the fans on Malik Neighbors getting the unretired jersey. I've never heard of a jersey being unretired before. I think that's super interesting. And then 2, is Dable and Shane on the hot seat this year if it goes bad, or is that just expected and like we reset and try again next year?
So I think as far as coaching hot seat, I'm not really sure about that, but they kind of, I don't
They're
want
in
to
a
say they're
weird
in
spot.
a winless situation, but it's
Yeah.
the Mara family has not been one to generally make quick moves, or they'll tend to stick with people, give them the run of it. So I would guess at least another year there. But we could see. I expect the Giants to go 0-17. That is my expectation for their record. So if that happens, I don't know. Heads could roll. But
True. It's almost like that's like their best possible scenario though, because then they can like get a quarterback and like have that like one more shot. You know what I mean? I feel like if they just go get 7 wins and can't get one of the top tier quarterbacks, it's like, well, we're just kind of in this mediocrity now.
Yeah, who even is the next quarterback on the rookie class that would come up? Like, who? I haven't heard one name. Like, I heard Caleb Williams like years before.
Hold on.
Shadur Sanders, maybe.
Shadur Sanders is up there, and I think.
Shadur Sanders. Yeah, okay.
Guy from Georgia
is never going to the Giants, dude. He's going to the Cowboys with fucking Barry Sanders. And...
You know what would be wild? What would be wild, because it happened in Hard Knocks. I'm gonna hop back. Wait for a moment. Ripon went to Minnesota, dude. He is now Minnesota's QB.
I wanted to talk about that.
So
that means
what if he did good this year and then the Giants took him?
Well, so the Vikings now have the Bears playbook. Is what's fucking crazy. That's what fucking sucks. So they need to Shane Waldron needs to literally change every code name for everything. Like now, your second, third string quarterback just went to our fucking rivals. So
it's true. It's true. It didn't help us though when we got fuck. I already forgot that OC's name. Who was
Shane
the guy
Waldron?
we got from? Oh, last year's dude he was from Green Bay.
Getsy.
Luke Getsy. He didn't give a shit.
Luke Getsy, dude. He's
I don't know, dude. That's probably why I forgot.
He's a fucking. He's on the Raiders now, I think.
Couldn't do anything.
That's another reason, Sam, why you shouldn't play Devontae Adams. He's got Luke Getsy calling their fucking calls. Dude. He's gonna run it on 3rd down with 10 yards left and fucking do a little like fucking HB draw. Like
listeners, just so you
Morgan
know.
Did okay last year.
Just so you know, listeners, we hate Luke Getsy. He sucks.
He does.
I have made Twitter posts talking shit on Luke Getsy that almost went viral. It had 15 likes. How do you guys like that?
Do you still have that picture? That was fucking hilarious. Just the thought bubble from him on the sideline. I'm a dumbass, is what it said.
Luke Getsy, I'm a dumbass. That's for real. And maybe I'm a dumbass in real life for making that. So the irony and whatever else that could be, I could be a dumbass. So don't take any of my calls seriously or my views of fantasy football. I'm in fantasy baseball right now, and I might lose to a guy's fucking dad. I'm freaking out, dude.
You're getting tooled, man.
I'm about to lose to Matt Reed's dad in fantasy baseball.
Dude,
Dude,
Matt
and
Reed
I'm
will
not
let
gonna
you
make the
never
playoffs.
live that down.
I know. Matt Reed will one day be on this podcast, and you guys
Matt
will all
Reed's
hear
gonna
why
beat you.
I hate him.
Matt's gonna beat you. This kid's gonna beat you. It's just all over the place.
Good lord.
So that's
I'll hop in briefly and just answer the second question there
Yes.
about Flattery's unretired jersey. So this never happened before. It's a player whose jersey was retired in the 30s. I want to say 1935 or 36 maybe. One of the first player to have a retired jersey in the NFL was a reception leader, yardage leader, touchdown leader for the, in truth, I can't imagine what the league was like then at all, but I don't think it was the same league we have today.
They unretired his number to give it to Malik Neighbors.
They unretired his number with the blessing of his family. His son said, "This will be okay to unretire my father's number to use." And then when Neighbors' career with the Giants is complete, it is re-retired under his father.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow.
Oh, I
So
didn't
it's
know
an
that. That's
interesting thing.
cool. Yeah, but what would Neighbors be retired as if he's the greatest receiver the Giants have ever known?
I will cross that bridge, brother, when I come to it. I hope that is the case.
That would be wild having like two names on,
Good
under a
problem to
number.
have.
Not really. I don't like it. I don't really like it.
But
No,
the dude probably got paid nothing to play in the 30s, and like hopefully his family got some money from Neighbors. So like that's kind of a come up. That's kind of cool.
Hopefully is a big word there, because yeah, if I was Neighbors, I'd be like, here's $2 million, fuck off, and now it's my number, and I'm sure the family would accept.
Well,
Maybe I'm
my
wrong. I don't
understanding
know.
was that he wanted a single-digit number. He played his number 8, number 9 in his collegiate career. I think he should have just. I think Drew Lock has like number 3. Go to Lock and say no. I'm taking this one now. It seems very roundabout,
Yeah.
but what I liked about the story was that the franchise asked permission of the family, and then the family granted permission. So I think it was done in a very upfront and above board manner. It just seems like an odd. It'll be a trivia question if he is as good as they hope he is in years to come.
It's definitely history for someone unretiring a fucking number. Well, hey, let me ask you guys this. What number did you wear in your sports in Little League and in all your child soccer and football and baseball? What did you wear and why did you wear it? I'll go first. I wore 17 because of Mark Grace. So that was my number. I idolized Mark Grace. I played first base, lefty. That was, that's why I wore it. What did you guys do?
When I could get it, I wore number 2 for Derek Jeter.
Makes
Oh,
sense.
Happy Tan.
Bad
Yeah,
answer, but yeah, it makes sense.
I think
No,
I
I'm just kidding.
I was 3 growing up. Just was my favorite number, and then I was 73 because one of my good friends wore 7. I wore 3, so combine them, and then in high school I was 5 for soccer, and I honestly don't know why. It just was given to me, and I liked it, so I kept it. So yeah, no real good stories there.
If I could,
No, that's awesome, dude. Hell yeah.
yeah, if I could, I think during baseball every year I tried to get 18. That being, it was just, my number, birthday number. But oddly enough, it's hilarious that it's Caleb Williams' number, so I love it.
Let's fucking go, dude. And dude, Hank, your birthday has always been a special day for me too, because it's the day after St. Patrick's Day.
Day after
And
Sandy's.
we're getting hammered both days for birthdays and
It just keeps
St.
going.
Patrick's Day.
Yeah. One after the other, baby.
I'm gonna go grab a beer real quick. I'll be right back.
Beer
Yeah,
break?
I'm gonna do it too.
All right. Lila and I did The Hobbit, and she loved it. I loved it almost as much, if not more, than she did. And then she was asking, as we were getting toward the end, if there were any more books by this author, if there was any other books to read in this series. she's been doing the Wizard of Oz series with my mom, her grandmother. So I think she was like, is it a kind of, books where there's going to be an adventure every different book? And I said, yeah, there's different books by this author, but this is, how did I explain it to her? I think I said that they're a little more complicated. They got bigger words and they're longer. So I said, we can read the rest of them, maybe not the Silmarillion, Children of Hurin,
Silmarillion is
Lays of
wild.
Varillion. Yeah, that one might wait a bit, but the trilogy, I was like, is there anything? No, we can do that. I was just like, if there's any words you don't understand, or if there's anything you're confused about, let me know, and I'll quiz her about it before and after with names and sort of plot what's happened with it. So we have just reached the point where they just met Aragorn, alias Strider at the time, and her first thoughts were, which is fantastic. I asked her, I said, do you think this guy is friendly or unfriendly? She's like, I think he's unfriendly. Because, of course, when he's introduced, he's very
Yes.
mysterious.
Yes.
And I was like, well, you can't hit every shot. But then we read more, and we finished on when they read Gandalf's letter with the great poem, of course, about all that is gold does not glitter. And so I said, think about, are these guys going to end up be friends? He wants to go with them. Do you think they'll let him? Things like that. And I'll quiz her again when we start up tomorrow.
Awesome.
Dude, after you finish Helm's Deep, you need to show her the cartoon from 79.
I watched all of the animated, the Rankin and Bass and the Bakshi ones with her when she was much, much younger, closer to Dimitri's age. But we should watch it again because I'm sure she remembers none of it at this point.
Dude, those are the best ever. I fucking love Lord of the Rings. Oh, so I was listening to a podcast the other day. I don't know if we're recording. Are we recording? Right now?
I'll cut.
Just
I'll cut
record it, dude. Record it. Let's fucking Lord of the Rings it up real quick. So, listening to a podcast, won't name the podcast, one of my favorites, and they're talking about how they just wish that you could play an audio, like with AI. I'm sure it'll happen in the near future, but with AI, you play an audiobook, and then in front of you, you either wear goggles or you have a hologram or whatever the fuck you do, and AI just shows you what the book is reading in front of your face. So like you can like read the Lord of the Rings or like have the audible of Lord of the Rings,
Yeah.
and then it's just showing you, and you can prompt AI to be like, oh, do it in the stylings of Peter Jackson, or do it in the stylings of like an 80s fucking He-Man, or do it in the stylings of like, just a cartoon Warner Brothers Hobbit or whatever, like
Yeah.
that would be cool as fuck.
That's gonna
Wait,
be
what?
interesting.
I said, do Stanley Kubrick's The Hobbit.
Yeah, you could do it however you want. Quentin Tarantino's The Hobbit. They say the N-word 45 times and show feet 35 times, and then you're just like, this is not Lord of the Rings. I don't like this.
Oh, speaking of that, yeah, I just saw the play recently that was in the States. I guess they originate from overseas in England.
Which makes sense.
But yeah, no, that like the musical, pretty fucking like on point, like to the books. There were things that obviously they changed a little bit, like I told you guys with Boromir. But I mean, I think you like kind of corrected me that he grew up in Rohan, so it kind of made sense in that aspect.
Well, I think Boromir went there in his teenage years and like spent some time in Rohan, like learning. They're like allies, so it's like sending like a royal family out somewhere to like learn the ways of like a different. It's like Mel Gibson going to Rome and Braveheart and learning Latin and fucking coming
Holy
back.
fuck,
And then
I forgot about that. What an amazing movie.
Comes back super educated.
Always loved you. Always have.
always have, and he kept the flower. So.
But yeah, I mean, it was 3 hours, but it was awesome.
Aaron, you were just in Ireland. How much like Braveheart did you feel? Even though that's Scotland.
Even though that's Scotland, this is my island.
When we went to Scotland, I've never seen Braveheart, so we watched it in the hotel the first night we were in Scotland.
No way.
And it
How
made
good
no
was
sense
it,
to
dude?
me.
Isn't it
It
fucking
was
great?
fucking ridiculous.
It was so fucking good, dude.
It was pretty bad.
No way. Dude, when he is in medieval Scotland, he busts out a deer antler and stabs someone in the fucking throat. That's not awesome to you? That's not
He's
fucking
all
awesome to you.
with heat fog on his face.
Dude, a fucking guy is coming at him and he busts out on his horse, busts out nunchucks in medieval Scotland and whops a motherfucker in the face. That's not amazing to you? Please.
Mel Gibson just doesn't do it for me.
Yes, he
It's
does.
like there's
dude.
no.
Yes, he does.
not.
He directed.
I'm like, this is the least cool person I've ever seen. I
He
think.
directed, he starred in it, and he like handpicked the music. Also, he's Australian and has the worst Scottish accent you've ever heard in your life. And you don't think that's amazing as a Scottish fucking epic?
He's Australian.
Yes.
Yes.
What the
Well,
fuck?
he's born there. He's
I guess he had a
American.
really good Scottish accent for you then.
Hold on. What are we talking about?
Now go watch the Patriot next, where he's
Dude, what's a
Carolina
Patriot?
plantation owner,
Oh my god.
whatever the fuck he's doing in that movie.
Ridiculous, dude.
But
Dude.
in all seriousness, Braveheart is the best movie ever made.
Mel Gibson fucking rules. Besides all the Jew hating, he rules, dude.
South Park was prescient in that regard, I think.
We're keeping that in the podcast, by the way. All right.
What do
Besides
you
Mel
guys want
Gibson,
You guys could talk about Hard Knocks. That was amazing. We can go back. We started with that and then flirted around a little bit.
actually-
and then
Yeah,
jumped
we got to
away.
cover last episode.
Yeah, I do have a couple notes I was actually taking. I took Connor's Connor's advice. I was just like, yeah, maybe I'll just take some notes during this. Why not?
We should do that during the
Worthy
game
of it.
tomorrow too.
Dude, yes. I would love yes. Yeah, need to keep
Oh,
tabs.
you guys are going to go to the game?
No, unfortunately.
Oh, fucking,
no,
I
just
wish.
watching it.
But yeah, Hard Knocks episode, I was really impressed at just the, you know what, it was like the humanization of football, like front office stuff. Because generally, a lot of the times we don't see front office people. We don't, deal with them or anything like that. I mean, like I'm talking like GM level, maybe like coaches too. It just like it seems
100%.
very disconnected.
Dude, yeah, I mean, seeing him with Colbert, like, it just
Aw.
showed how good of a person Ryan Poles is. He's
Totally.
just a great dude who, like, actually cares and, like... And I also loved how, like, when people went in and he was releasing him, it was the first thing he said. He was just like, we're releasing you. And you know what? It's tough, and that's what we got to do, and blah, blah. It's good to do that instead of pussyfooting around and just being like, oh, like, but at the end of this conversation, I got to release you. Because then it's, like, more bogus. At least he, like, ripped that Band-Aid off in the beginning and then just kind of, like, was like, we're still going to have you on the practice squad, but,
Yeah.
if you want.
What was wild that, like, it was hilarious. I like jotted down. I was like, Poles seemed super stressed. Like, honestly, like, I feel like everybody would be, but then the moment, like, Colbert walked in and Poles needed to literally leave the room to have a moment.
That was crazy.
I was like, wait, what?
It's because he's a good person, man. He's just a good
Yeah.
dude.
And it's crazy too that like his NFL player career ended in that building, being cut, and now like so he can like take that empathy and like that compassion and like show it to these players, and he knows how they're feeling. He knows what's next. He knows the uncertainty that they're probably feeling, and can like kind of harness that. And I feel like that makes him a even better GM. I think Poles is like the real deal. Like he is so. It's crazy that he's only like a few years older than us. He just feels so like mature and experienced and like has been through this, and it's very impressive, I think.
Dude, yeah, I agree 100%. And also, it's like, well, here's the thing I don't know, maybe I was thinking about it too hard, but like, it seemed like the only person they didn't offer like practice squad stuff to was Colbert. I think everyone else they offered it to, and they didn't offer it to him. So I was like, that's kind of weird since like he like loves him so much. But maybe I'm just overthinking it or whatever. But
Yeah, I was talking with Kelly about this. My gut. So at first I was like, maybe there's like some type of rule where if you've played for X number of teams, like you're not eligible for the practice squad. But then I Googled it and like he still is. Like they took that away. You'd have to pay a veteran player more.
Mm,
But I also wonder if like maybe there's some conversation we didn't see where Colbert's like, hey, like, I've been here, I have tape, like a team maybe will pick me up, but I'm not trying to like just be on the practice squad. And so maybe like that came first before the conversation we saw or something.
yeah.
yeah, could be. Hold on, I have to go kill a spider real quick.
Man's work.
We gotta.
He calls. Duty calls. Yeah, I thought another Sam, I don't know what you think about this, but I was listening to a podcast where Ryan Poles was he's like being interviewed by a couple of Chicago beat writers, and they were asking him, they're like, would you ever do the like other version of Hard Knocks, the like summer one that the Giants just did? And he's like, it would be hard to find another GM that like wants to do that because I think that like just the amount of like personal conversations and like to your point, like the Saquon stuff, like it's just there was a lot out there that most teams don't really want out there. So I wonder if like that was just a test or like I wonder just kind of like what will come of that version of Hard Knocks in the future.
Well, I'm excited to see what the AFC North in season will look like. That should be
Yeah.
a good fly on the wall situation to be in. I think I'm being boring. I feel I agree with everything you guys said about the Bears and the last episode. It was humanizing. It was galvanizing. It made me root for them more if possible. That franchise has struck me as endearing, which is
Yeah.
difficult, I imagine, to come across as in that situation. And it's also it's I worry a great deal about the Giants, and I don't think they came off looking good. But that's a situation that is difficult to, I think.
Exactly.
I mean, you're kind of working through things, and you're not throwing yourself. Once you're in camp, you guys can probably relate from whatever your respective careers or passions are. I know I can. When you're in the thick of something, it's much easier to, you focus on it to sort of the exclusion. Oh, there's cameras on me. Well, there's cameras on me this
Yeah.
whole time here. Whereas when you have time to think about it, you're running through the options, you're kind of trying to figure something out on the fly. And with, I don't know, I think that the biggest difference between my impressions of Shane and Poles coming out of it were mostly do boil down to those few snippets where you see Poles fretting about the future of his players, or you see, the tough situations. And I agree, you bring someone in, hey, by the way, you're going to be on the practice squad. If we love everything about you, but we have to cut you. Well, if that was the case, then why didn't I make it in front of these 6 other guys? So
Mm.
you really see from his perspective what he's going through and what the staff is going through. And I thought the Giants version did a very good job of sort of showing the technical side of it, where they're looking at the tape, they're analyzing off-season combine, but you don't get those moments where it's like, actually, for all the money and all the status of this job, it really sucks at times. And you talk about Poles looking mature. I think that's, you get beat down through the process. It takes it out of you. It's a hard thing, and it's quick. You don't get 5 or 6 years anymore. You get 2 or 3 years if you're lucky, and you try and work with that when you can. So you're always on. You're always trying to deal, but at the same time, not lose touch of the fact that, hey, I was once this guy sitting right here. What's the next step for him? What's he do after this? So the Bears, I guess maybe the greatest boon I could say from an outside perspective is I can be excited for them without as much of maybe the attached baggage that I'm sure each and every one of you guys and every fan out there has, where you've got the historicity of it, where I think they're going to be fantastic. I think it's going to be tough to win the division over the Lions, but I think the Bears can do it. Will they? We'll see. What the team shakes out to, we'll see. But I am excited for this season, and I can only imagine what you guys are thinking about it.
There's a lot of criticism of the Bears Hard Knocks for being clean, and like no swearing and all that stuff, and like how other Hard Knock seasons, like the Lions and stuff, they were all like they showed like a lot more, but like not a lot more in the sense of like how players interact with each other and stuff like that, and like fights at camp and all that stuff, but they don't show like behind the scenes type of stuff. As a Bears fan, I just feel like it was super cool because we've never seen anything like that with the Bears team.
Yep.
But,
Well,
like,
I mean, I think it goes down to culture too. Like, I just don't think the culture in the building with Flus is to be like, you know, fuck you, fuck that, whatever. Like, super like out in the open. I feel like he's more or less like holding it down. Like, he owns that locker room, if anything, right now.
well, yeah, it's all looking good. That haircut helped him a lot.
Oh, he's looking sharp, dude.
What a glow up! What a glow up!
But also, it's like, you know, they had that huge brawl at the end of training camp or whatever, and they never even showed like anything about it. And I was just like, that would have been cool to see. You know, something like that would have been cool to see on the like, I don't know, to show the grit. You know, I love that montage of Caleb Williams passing, and then it would instantly
Then it
show
goes
to his
back
next
to-
pass.
yeah.
Yeah, that
That
was
was sick.
super cool. I really liked that. But like, I was also like, you know, the other Hard Knocks have a lot more grit, maybe. But it was cool, and you know, I've had Skylar's whole family is Steelers fans, and I've had her mom and dad like hit me up like, Hard Knocks Bears, let's go. Like, I don't know, you know, people are getting invested. It's pretty cool, like the rest of the country. So
Yeah, I do think there is an element of like, yeah, misses some of that edge, but at the same time, I think it still was better than some of like the other training camps the past couple of years. I think the Lions one was excellent, but I don't know, this one
definitely.
there's so many good stories on the Bears right now. Like that it's just like they had unlimited kind of content to like go after. And like I would love to see all the shit that they didn't show. You know what I mean? Like it was probably a ton. So
Yeah.
the what's it called? The bloopers. The bloopers
Yeah.
are fucking hilarious. Yeah. DJ Moore's daughter, like, her getting hit in the face with the football. He's like, "Oh, fuck."
Loved it.
like-
Loved all the more sections.
Hilarious.
Seeing them go to their new house, saying, "I'm here now. They want
Yeah.
me here. I want to be here."
That was sick. When DJ Moore is like, yeah, like I want to retire a Bear.
Oh,
my God. Like just
Maybe.
feed it into my fucking
Maybe. He's like, I want to retire a Bear. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that was as close as that guy will come to saying that. Like,
Dude,
I'll take it.
I hope this team is bound for glory, dude. I just hope we're fucking into the ether of fucking greatness. Like, I want that.
consistency.
that.
I would love to. Yeah,
Yeah.
greatness and consistency. That's all I really need for the next
Dude,
couple.
Caleb
Couple
Williams
years.
for the next, 5 years? Let's
Decade.
fucking go. Win 2 Super Bowls.
Make it a decade.
Yeah.
That would be my shit. And you know what? I heard Barstool talking if well, Jordan Love just got fucking injured, so I don't know if this will happen. But let's say at the end of the season, the Bears lose the Packers, we lose out of the playoffs, and they go on to win a Super Bowl. That would be the worst thing that could possibly fucking happen in my life.
I would lose my mind.
This is why I'm telling
Honestly,
you, we need to beat the Packers twice, no matter what. I don't care this year. Has to.
I think you're going to beat the Packers twice.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Don't you fucking do that, Sam, you motherfucker. Don't you
Put
fucking
that
do
on
that.
me.
Don't you put that black magic on me, you motherfucker.
Minnesota said they weren't going to start healthy, but that's not an option now.
Yeah, he's dead.
Love is out for the time being. The Lions, I think, should be favored. I don't know what the division odds look like there, but
Yeah, they're heavily favorited right now.
it will be an interesting division to watch, and I think the Bears have a lot of advantages going in. The unknown for teams facing them with how they will assign their weapons and their assets, the sort of they're a team that is known. You guys are known for scrappy upsmanship and underdogism. So
And
it's gonna
defense.
be, if they start winning games, you're gonna get. Not only do I know this, and all of you know this, the city of Chicago. They win tomorrow, the city will start going crazy and will continue so until they lose, and then it'll lose its mind. But you'll get people outside of Chicago who tune in similar vein to the Lions from last year, who want to see this happen.
Yeah. I remember last year when the Lions were going at it, and I was like, kind of just hope they go all the way.
Especially with DJ Montgomery, I was loving it.
Yeah.
He was doing great.
Montgomery, I think I was more rooting for Montgomery than anything, but it was just like, I mean, they looked good, even though lucky, but.
Well, hey, I just want to say to all our listeners and to Aaron and Hank too. When the Cubs won the World Series, me and Sam were at Beano's Bar and Grill. It's not really a grill; they make like frozen pizzas. Me and Sam were at Beano's, and they won the World Series, and Sam picked me up. Maybe I've said this before. Sam picked
You said
me
on
up.
like episode 2. Yeah.
Just want to throw that out there. He was there for the greatest moment in Chicago sports history besides Michael Jordan winning. And it was fucking great.
Yeah, I couldn't go to sleep until 5 o'clock.
Sam's a real one for all you motherfuckers who are going to be like, this guy's talking about New York all the fucking time. Fuck you. So that's all I got to say. No.
No.
Well, all that's fair.
It's very fair.
Sorry, go ahead.
Also, do you want to do some trivia?
Yeah, pop it out, dude.
Also, while you're looking at Connor, I'm going to just... The crazy thing about this Bears team, Sam, to your point of, like, the city will get behind them. Connor, you sent the ticket prices for fucking Cardinals games in Arizona this year. Goes from $14 for the Commanders at the Cardinals, $29 for the Chargers at the Cardinals, $175 for the Bears at the Cardinals, and then it drops back down to $43 for the Jets at the Cardinals, and then $28 for the Seahawks, $25 for the Patriots. Chicago's already like fucking.
The hype is
Granted,
real.
a lot of people live in a lot of Chicago people live in Arizona, but it's disgusting. Like I think away game Bears play somewhere else is going to be sold out, and it's going to be 75% Bears fans. It's fucking crazy.
I mean, Aaron, if you want to compare Caleb Williams to William Wallace, that is totally fine, dude.
2 Australians. I mean, what can you do?
6'6" and lightning bolts coming out of his arse.
I'm going on a fucking Mel Gibson Wikipedia hole after this.
Please, dude, he has some great movies. What is that one? Hit the Concrete or whatever? Dragged Across the Concrete with Vince Vaughn. It's fucking
He has
sick.
9 children. Holy shit.
Payback, Get the Gringo, Gibson, Apocalypto. Gibson got some good ones. But
Dude, he
right.
directed Hatchet's Ridge or whatever that's called.
Hacksaw
Ridge.
Dude, he's the man. He's the man.
That's with that dude, the Spider-Man guy, right?
Yes,
Exactly.
Garfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
All
funny.
right, boys.
Verify that now.
Here's some Chicago trivia for your motherfuckers. Here's some Chicago trivia for your motherfuckers. What 3-word Ernie Banks catchphrase typically followed "It's a beautiful day for a ball game"?
Go Cubs, go.
I know this one.
It's a beautiful day.
Hit it then, Sam.
Oh. Let's have two.
Let's play 2. Yeah, you were close. You're close. Yeah, all right. The
That'll
Cubs
work.
are the best. Aaron, the Cubs are the best. So,
They fucking suck.
in Game 6 of the 2003 NLCS, what Cubs fan reached out and deflected a ball away from Moises Alou, preventing the second out of the 8th inning?
Connor Dolan.
You wish, motherfucker.
I'm noticing a certain decrease in difficulty of the questions on this cast. I hope you
Okay,
didn't.
so this So this one I picked a number 1 card, so it's the easiest questions. We're gonna do 2 cards. We're gonna do this one, and we're gonna do a number 3. So
You're warming us up. I get it.
it's warm up questions. We need to look good because we missed so many. So,
I don't know. Aaron's pretty good on his rolls, dude.
Aaron's really fucking good. Aaron's good at trivia. He's a good trivia partner.
Steve Bartman.
The Bartman.
Wrong. Nah, yeah, that's right. That's right.
I was like, damn. Holy shit.
Whoa, are we having like a weird future
Oh, no.
mistake going
All
on?
right. What Bears linebacker was named Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2000 and Defensive Player of the Year in 2005?
Is that
In 2000. Wait, what position?
linebacker? Urlacher?
Linebacker.
Oh yeah, it's got to be.
Hank, you got it, brother.
Bang, 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 bang.
Big old Brian Urlacher.
Urlacher. Urlacher.
See his face every time by the airport.
All the
Yeah,
time.
there's so many fucking hair signs.
Bear great Brian Urlacher. All right, acquired halfway through the season. What flame-throwing reliever earned 4 saves and 2 wins for the Cubs during the 2016 playoffs, including a victory notched in Game 7 against the Indians?
Connor, you got this one.
Wait,
He almost fucked
save?
it up a few times for you as well.
There's a bunch that I got, but I'm letting y'all answer. It's trivia.
This is a save, right?
4 saves, 2 wins in the playoffs leading up to his win in Game 7 for all the marbles.
Didn't we have a similar
Who was
question?
the Cubs closer in
We did.
2016?
Is it the same
Yeah, it
guy?
was-
Because he.
That's gonna be my guess.
Fuck.
Who was the Cubs closer in 2016?
I know it, but I'll give you guys a hint since it's unfair for me.
He beat the fuck out of his wife and shot 6
Oh
times
my
in the garage.
god.
9 times.
Yeah, I know it too. That hint sold me. I got it.
Yeah, that one gave it away.
Who is it?
Aroldis Chapman. Shout out to the Cubs
Let's
for picking up
go! Aroldis Chapman.
top-notch guys.
Top notch.
He's a really good guy who did really good things. All right, next question.
Definitely not.
Hank, I thought it was Mike Montgomery too. We were talking about
Yeah,
how
but-
is that same guy from that question.
I
yeah.
guess it. Yeah, because
No, Mike Montgomery was the last pitcher, but he didn't get the win.
Okay.
interesting. Monte.
All right, Alex, you're back. What are we doing over there?
Yeah, that was the trade that brought over Gleyber Torres to the Yankees. I was wrong about him.
Okay, here we go. What undrafted big man out of North Carolina won championship ring in each of his first 3 NBA seasons after signing with the Bulls in 1990? This is a deep cut for a number 3. This is a deep cut.
3 championship rings?
I didn't fucking tell you.
I guarantee y'all will never know. He probably averaged 6 points a game in the whole Bulls tenure, 3 years.
Big man.
Big man.
Who are our big
He
men?
played center or power forward. His name is Scott Williams. You would have never gotten it.
Never in my life.
Sorry, Scott.
All right. What Hall of Famer played shortstop for the Cubs World Series teams in 1907 and 1908?
That's a deep cut.
Oh, that's got to be Johnny Rockets.
Let me tell you this. He was a gypsy.
Great help. Great.
Not touching this. We're not touching this.
Yeah, definitely not touching that.
His name is Joey Tinker.
Oh, shit.
It's Joe Tinker, but Tinker is a slang word for gypsy. So, hey, come on,
That's-
Aaron, you were just in Ireland. Please,
That sounds
Jump-
like one of your
jump on
D&D
this, dude.
characters. That dude's playing a banjo somewhere.
His name is Joe Tinker.
As I like
The dwarf.
All right. What offensive guard played for the Bears from 1983 to 1994 and set the franchise record for most playoff appearances with 13?
Holy shit.
What the fuck?
This is a 3?
Guard.
I'll give you a hint. His last name ends with Z.
That's not helpful.
Instantly want to go to Olin Kreutz, but that's like 10 years ahead of time. And he was a center, I guess.
It's
Fuck, I
Mark
don't-
Vorts.
Oh, yeah, Mark Vorts. Classic. Shout out Mark, the Vorts family.
Would your dad have known that, Connor? Because he's probably going to give you some shit for
Oh,
it.
there's shit when my dad was alive, and if we missed these questions and my dad was alive and we weren't, I get fucking wrecked.
We need to bring him on just for trivia.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, he definitely needs to come on an episode.
That would be
Are
funny.
you guys fucking kidding me?
You guys don't know Johnny fucking Morris?
Set him up a Discord. Let's go.
I will next time I'm back home. I definitely will. All right. What longtime Bears offensive lineman was briefly married to Eleanor Mondale, daughter of former Vice President Walter Mondale?
Wow.
What
This
the
is sick.
fuck?
What years? What, the Mondales? They were what? 40?
Let me tell you this. His name is super German. So he is of the Third Reich.
Oh my god.
So
Cronkite.
it's Keith Von Horn.
Von Horn.
And Horn
Oh,
is
the Von Horns.
and Horne. Horn.
Oh, Horna. Word.
Von Horn. But all right, what else do you guys have to offer to the podcast, or am I just out here doing everything?
No, I think I don't know if you guys want to talk. You guys could honestly do an entire podcast. You could do multiple podcasts just about fantasy and football and
Honestly.
what the predictions for the season are.
All right, so who is your guys' favorite player that you drafted this year in fantasy? Start with Hank. Hank, talk into the mic, dude.
Dude.
You're sounding great to me.
Trust
I don't
me.
know how well it
Trust me. I got the
translates, but
mic
it sounds
issue
good.
solved. We're fine.
Say that every week. You say that every week.
I know I say it every week. I think my favorite player that I picked would be St. Brown. I think he's going to do well for me. Besides Caleb Williams, but I'm not going to say Caleb. I think Caleb's going to do fine.
I like him on St. Brown too. Yeah, that's a good pick for sure. Great wide receiver. All right, Aaron, who you got?
I think Sam Laporta is my favorite. I picked him last year, and he did obviously very, very well for me. And then I think this year, I think there's just like, there's a top tier of tight end, and then I think there's like kind of a big fall off. So I'm excited that my strategy was mostly to like get a top 3 tight end.
Your strategy was draft the tight end. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sam, what was your favorite?
So I think I
Aaron,
have.
wait, no, Sam, I'm joking. I'm on, Aaron. I'm kidding. Finish what you're gonna say.
No, I don't have anything else to say. That was my strategy. I'm gonna win the goddamn championship. Get the
It's
fuck out of my face. Sam, what do you think?
I got you covered because I took Amon Ra in a bunch of leagues. I took Laporta in a bunch of leagues. Both those guys for the reasons you just said. I mean, Laporta looks to me like the new Kelsey. He's the guy he'll go to when he needs security blanket. He knows he's going to make the throw.
Make it freestyle. Yeah.
He I'm looking for guys in the receiver and running back category that are the go-to, the guy, the dude in their respective systems, and there ain't that many of them anymore. I mean, you look at Saquon, I think he could win a lot of leagues. Despite what happened during Baltimore's game, I think Derrick Henry could win some leagues. Since you guys took two of my favorite picks, I'll go a little lower down the line. I'll ignore Malik Neighbors, who I love a lot as well, besides this comment. Of course, I'm not ignoring him there, but I'll go Zay Flowers on Baltimore for the same reasons. I don't think there's anybody who's really, well, likely he's going to be added, probably most added player this week. But I think as far as the receiving core of Baltimore goes, he's the guy there. And the guys you fellas just mentioned, I think, you draft for opportunity and volume and try and eliminate risk, which is difficult when a third of the league, knocking on wood here, is going to be injured by week 4. But you say, what puts me in the best chance of success? And I think one of my favorite quotes there is, you can't win a league on draft night. You can only lose it. So, don't take Pat Mahomes in the first round in a one quarterback league, I guess.
Yeah.
So
Do you think?
you drafted tight ends. Okay, cool. So what I'm gonna say, and all right, Aaron, go ahead.
Jesus Christ. Do you think like, is Andrews dead? Like, do you think Likely is the new tight end 1 in Baltimore, or is it like Mark Andrews had the car accident, like they're kind of like easing him back into things, or
It's one game.
it?
It's
Yeah, but
one game.
he had a lot of good looks. Mark Andrews basically played tackle the whole game. Like,
Yeah, they were double covering Mark Andrews, and Likely was wide open. That's the reason they threw to him. It's good coaching.
So, Aaron, I said I wasn't worried about Kelsey earlier. Kelsey, I think, is going to be fine. Andrews, I'd be much more worried about. I don't think it's a likely as 1. I'm thinking it could be closer to a 1A, 1B, dependent on situation. But, I mean, Connor, this goes to your point about drafting tight ends early, that, I guess it could go any way you want it, because you look at the Packers, and I've got Christian Watson in some leagues. I've got Romeo Doubs in some leagues. So it's, you don't know how it's going to shake out. It'll be overanalyzed, overinterpreted.
You made a mistake. You made mistakes.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's okay. And you know what? Mark Andrews, he is injury prone. So, you might get 4 good weeks out of Mark Andrews every year. That's
he's
why
disappointing
I stay away from
every
him.
year.
That's why I stay away from him.
Connor,
And
who's your guy? You're going to win this league if you draft him? The draft's already happened.
are we talking tight ends? Are we talking tight ends?
General.
No, just in general.
In general. Well, I drafted Lamar Jackson in 2 leagues, and I drafted let's see. You know what? Let me pull this up real quick. All right.
You don't even know your guys?
He doesn't even know his
No,
guys.
I'm in 3 leagues, dude. And 3 leagues means I've been doing a lot of fucking shit. So please give me a second. You know what? My teams suck. So that's what it is. I drafted Bears defense in almost every league. So I'm rooting on them.
I have Bears defense in the league.
Your choice is the Bears defense? That's your
Bears
going to win.
Sleeper defense. So if you guys are looking for defenses, go pick up the Bears.
At least week 1.
Good.
At least week 1. It's gonna be, honestly, I think there's something we should talk about on the spot too. We should come up with week 1 predictions. But I think Bears defense is gonna be
Bears
sick week
defense
1.
has the easiest
Will
schedule
Levis,
all
who
year.
fucking knows what's going on?
They have the easiest schedule. The Bears have the easiest schedule. They're top 3. So
we're
Bears
third.
defense is gonna be good all year. So, and especially with Jordan Love getting injured, that's 2 Packers games where these Packers fans are going to be crying. They're going to be fucking sad on the ground. I know.
The only
I
downside is you have to sit through week 2. We play the Texans week 2, I think, in Houston. So that's gonna be. It's gonna be who knows what's gonna happen?
Houston's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be tough for the defense. I think Bears to win because it's gonna be just gone. But it's gonna be a shootout. So I don't know how the defense is gonna do week 2.
We did the whole season predictions. I'm telling you, Texans game.
The lowest win total we're at is like 14 wins. So.
Conservatively, 14 wins.
Yeah,
You know, I honestly think that my win total, when we win and we lose in England to Jacksonville, and then I'm just going to be like, all right, so far I've been right. You guys predicted the Bears to lose. I think Aaron did at least
I think
for tomorrow.
From England? Oh, not tomorrow.
Aaron predicted
No,
tomorrow
for
to
me to be
lose to
Texans.
Will Levis.
No. I said that I think me and Connor said we're
No.
winning tomorrow.
Yeah, me and Hank said we're going to win, so.
Wait, yeah, no, we all have wins tomorrow. And then me and Hank have losses to the Texans.
Aaron, you said they were going to lose to...
I'll show you the
Please.
screenshot. I recorded this.
Go listen to the...
Share your
go
screen,
listen
We're
to the
Aaron.
podcasting. I'm posting it to the chat. There it is. Boom. There it is. I have us winning tomorrow, along with everybody else. And then, Connor, you're the only person who has us winning against the Texans. You have us losing to the Jags.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's your first
because
loss?
it's in England. Because it's in England, and Irish people never have good luck against England, so I picked
What
to lose.
Irish people do we have on our team?
He's just
No,
him.
I'm an American
you.
Irishman. I'm an American Irishman, and we're gonna lose because my faith is in this team, and England's gonna crush us. So that's what is how I feel. You know,
You have us as the most wins. You have us at 14-3.
half of me is American, and we whooped England's ass, dude. We beat the shit out of those motherfuckers. And then Ireland, they're just like, oh no, we have no more potatoes and no more fish because they kept taking our food. And you know what? Guess what? They starved to death. The fucking potato famine.
Where
So,
are we right now?
Who fucking knows? Who fucking knows? So you guys both have us beating the Packers. You guys have us beating the Packers twice.
Yes.
I have us beating the Packers once. If
Love were active, I would agree with you, Aaron. I think 1-1 if he is going full tilt.
Yeah.
You know what? So the Luke Getzey I'm a dumbass image is right above the image you just posted.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
You posted it. All right, good.
Yeah. And then you guys, I think, have us. No, Hank has us. No, we all have us going 1-1 against the Lions.
Yep. I just have it in a
I
different
agree with
formation
that.
than you guys.
And then against the Vikings, let's see. Hank has us at 1-1, and then me and Connor are both at 2-0 against the Vikings.
Mind you, this was before the quarterback
they got
issue.
hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. True.
Bears secondary looks good.
Oh,
Bears
Bears,
D-line
yeah.
looks good.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. Skylar said that I'm being mean on here, so I apologize for being mean to you guys. So
We'll set up a poll on the Spotify next time. Was Connor being mean? And I think it should be 1,000%.
I thought I was being real, dude. Apparently I wasn't. So I'm sorry.
You
That's
are
so
the
big.
spider you were supposed to kill.
Wait. Oh, is it because I killed? Wait, what did you say?
You are the spider you were supposed to kill. All right, week 1.
Jesus, Aaron.
Connor,
Come on, dude. Rewatch Braveheart and get big and tough, dude. Just realize how good of a movie that is.
what do you think the score is tomorrow at 10 a.m. or 12 a.m. or 12 p.m. for the Chicago people, 10 a.m. for the Pacific people? What do you think the Bears against the Titans score is?
Bears 24, Titans 17.
I like that a lot. Actually.
Didn't we do point predictions? I thought kind of like why we were talking through the whole season.
We might have, but I don't think we did anything official. We might have off the cuff said
That's
some
fine.
shit. I think I said we were gonna beat the Seahawks 100-0. So I don't know.
I'm gonna go
That is.
bold.
That's not unreasonable on the Seahawks prediction.
True.
Can we get Sam's Giants season matches?
Ooh, yeah, I'd be curious.
Setting up
can
in
we
the
get
spreadsheet.
his?
I'm setting up in the spreadsheet.
You want win-loss for the season? I'll
Yes,
give you
yes.
Bears.
We'll ask
We're gonna
him.
go week by week though.
Yeah, we're gonna week by week with you.
We'll
First,
name
I'll
what
give you
teams.
Bears Titans tomorrow. Bears 31, Tennessee 13.
No. For
Rack
the
'em.
Giants.
No,
For
no,
the
no, no. What?
Giants.
No, he's doing the
I
points
know.
for tomorrow.
I
said
know,
Titans
but now you got
17?
it. And when
Thir-
they win 31
31
to
to 7.
13, you'll know I was
13.
right.
I'm thinking about points. Hold on.
What the fuck did you just say?
You're on a Chicago Bears podcast.
No, I love. You know what? I hope the Bears win the Super Bowl.
Let's fucking go.
So
That-
So do I.
so I'm gonna be
So-
bold here. And I'll be the over the top person here. I'm gonna say 38 to 24.
I think Tennessee's going to put up 24.
Maybe, but probably not. You know what? Actually, I'll cut it down.
Bears
I'll
defense?
say
You thought
13.
they were gonna put
I'll
up
say
24 points?
No, I'll say 13. So 38 to 13.
It could be 38-24 and it wasn't actually that close kind of game. Tennessee puts up 2 touchdowns in
In the
garbage
end,
time. It's
yeah.
second half of the fourth quarter, but
Wait, so Hank, you had Bears 38, Titans 13?
Yeah.
And Sam, you had Bears 31, Titans 13?
that's right.
Connor, what do you got?
Bears 24, Titans 17.
I think I'm just going to steal Connor's score. I like the Bears 24, Titans 17.
I actually did like that too. I was thinking about that one.
It sounds
might be
really good.
Yeah. I mean,
Should we just do the
Okay.
whole season?
no.
We got to do week by week. But we got to, Sam, we're now going to go through your Giants schedule. So week 1, Vikings.
This might surprise people. They are going to lose really badly. They're going to botch this.
It's not surprising at all.
So tomorrow is an L.
Tomorrow's a no. Tomorrow's a loss.
Okay. And then week 2, Commanders, Jaden Daniels.
Ooh, that's going to be a win. I'll take that as one of their few wins.
All
I
right,
like
so
that.
500.
that.
Browns.
Loss.
Good defense. Cowboys.
Are they at home for that one? It doesn't matter. But
Cowboys are in shambles.
They are. I think it's 5:15 p.m. So it must be Monday or Sunday night. I can't really tell on here, but it's a later game.
yeah, that's at home against the Cowboys in week 4. That's going to be a loss. Probably a bad
Okay.
one too.
1-3 against the Seahawks, and you're going to Seattle. So cross country, 6-hour flight, and yeah, it's a 1:25 p.m. game. So what, 4:25 Eastern time?
Going to Seattle, week 5. First buys kick in. I'm going to say win on that one.
Okay, I like that.
Go.
And then Bengals, another night game, October 13th.
Bengals is going to be a loss.
Yeah, I was gonna say Bengals
Okay.
are pretty good.
Eagles, 1 p.m. game.
Eagles is going to be a loss.
Steelers in Pittsburgh, another night game. You guys have a lot of primetime games.
In Pittsburgh, that's going to be
I
a
think
loss.
it's a Monday night game. Yeah.
That's
Don't matter
wild.
when it is, it's a loss.
Commanders at 1 p.m.
That'll be a loss. Split that series with them.
Panthers at 6:30. So it must be the Munich game or England game. I don't know which one it is.
You guys got this one.
This will be another fun one. Carolina will have improved tremendously by then, relatively speaking. It will be a Panthers victory, Giants loss.
No way.
man. Oh,
Dude, with
man.
Adam Thielen as our main wide receiver? Are you joking?
We're at 2-8 right now. 2-8 going into
That's
the
rough.
1 p.m. the day before Thanksgiving or 2 days before Thanksgiving. Actually,
Now the next, I just pulled
So
it
this
up. It's Buccaneers at MetLife. Giants will go on a run here. Win.
okay, win. And then Cowboys I guess that is the
Cowboys,
Thanksgiving game. Is the
their one-win run will come to an end crushingly. This will be a loss.
Saints on the 8th?
Saints at home. I think that's a win.
I think that's winnable for sure. I don't even know if Derek Carr still has the starting job at that. Ravens at MetLife.
So the Ravens will beat the Giants. This will be a loss.
Loss. Falcons in Atlanta.
Loss.
And then Colts at Giants.
I think so. I see it's Colts in the Meadowlands and Giants in Philly to finish the season. They will win one of these games to end, I believe. After that, the record will be 5-12.
Yep.
But I don't know which. I'm gonna say the Colts will win, since I think Philly. Yeah, in Philly, Saquon. Yeah, they'll win against the Colts and then they'll lose against the Eagles to close out the season. Remarkable for me, 5-12.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
You know what? You are very steady and true, because in the beginning of the cast, or at least halfway through, you said they're going to be 5-12, and then you just ended with 5-12.
And
so.
nailed it. Yeah,
I think
nailed it.
I think I said they'll be 0-17, which is what I've been telling everyone so far this year.
You also said 5-12, so maybe you're
5-12 is maybe a little hopeful. I think if they hit that sweet spot of 3 to 6 wins, then I can look at that with pride.
honestly maybe too optimistic on the Giants, and they're probably going to suck, and it's going to be horrible. But
it will be Giants, Panthers, Patriots, and I'm sure I'm missing someone for a race to the bottom of this league.
Well,
yeah.
What I'm gonna say is, I actually kind of think Daniel Jones is gonna surprise people this year. I don't know why. I just have that feeling. I'm like, he just came off surgery and everyone's hating on his ass, and I'm like,
You know what,
I
Connor?
want him to win. I
agree with you. I think Daniel Jones will have a better season than he's had recently.
Aaron is pissed off that I just said that, dude.
I'm not pissed off. I just think that, like, judging from Hard Knocks, like, it doesn't seem like the staff is bought in. And they have seen him a lot more than we have. So,
well, look, the games that they lose, I think their offense will do better. What did they average? I should know. They averaged less than 20 points a game last year. They might have averaged less than 15 points a game for the first half of the year. So they're averaging, let's say, 16, 17 a game over 23. I think they'll average much higher than that, in the 20 to 24 range. They're going to get beat on defense in the secondary quite badly, and I think teams are going to rack up numbers against them. In fact, I would almost go so far to say, for fantasy purposes, if you've got a streaming receiver against the Giants that you're concerned about,
play him against the Giants.
Slot him in. Yeah. But we'll see. I think 5-12 sounds reasonable to me. They'll win some games that they shouldn't. I think I had them losing against the Cowboys twice, losing against Philadelphia twice, and splitting with Washington, which makes sense for division. I don't know if they'll lose the East. Washington could. That wouldn't shock me either. I think, as far as the worst record in the league, they may usurp the Patriots for that, may not, but they're going to be, politely put, they're going to be tough to watch this year.
Yeah, they have Terry McLaurin as their top wide receiver, so we'll see how that goes.
Terry. Yeah, I'm looking at a mock draft, and it has Patriots number 1, Carolina number 2, and then it has the Giants at number 3, taking Shedeur Sanders at quarterback.
You know what? That has kind of vibed with what I'm looking at so far in this season.
So, We've come down to it, boys. All right, one love, boys. I love you
All
all.
right,
I'm
boys.
leaving.
Sounds good.
See you
Peace.
guys.
Everybody have a good night.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Sam.
Bless.
Well, a lot of things happen today.
Sometimes life deals you bananas and you gotta just say, fuck it, I'm gonna eat that shit.
I'm not touching it. Cut it. Cut it.
We're cutting
I
it.
had,
We're
I had
done.
to tie that in.
We're out.
And they were all great. And they were all thrilling. And they were all dramatic.
But you know what? Get big, get tough, and get fucked.
Too bad we couldn't have had
Hot, juicy cake takes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
some
that's
some
fine.
hot cakes on the griddle. You know what I'm saying?